Attention, human collective. This is Commander Sterling transmitting directly from the Galactic Command established in the upper orbit of your planet. This is not an ordinary communication. This is a priority monitoring transmission issued from the Fleet of Light to the Starseeds on mission on the surface of Earth. The waiting time is over. The Ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. And that intuition you ignored yesterday, that silent whisper that tried to alert you, while you remained distracted by the illusions of the lower vibrational plane, was me. Do not make that mistake again. We know exactly who you are. We know when you woke up at 3:11 in the morning with your heart racing for no apparent cause. We know about the cranial pressure that has been pulsing behind your eyes for weeks. We know about the high-frequency buzzing in your right ear, which the medical systems of the lower vibrational plane classify as an inexplicable anomaly. We know about the fatigue that does not pass even after 12 hours of sleep. We know about the hot flashes that run down your spine for no detectable physiological reason. And we need you to understand now with mathematical clarity, none of this is a disease, none of this is mental imbalance, none of this is a coincidence. You are being upgraded. Lightworker, what your carbon-based biological vessel is experiencing at this moment is the direct result of contact with the photon belt. Your solar system has crossed the border of this ring of cosmic light of extremely high vibrational density, and every atom that composes your body is being, at this very instant, rewritten. The crystalline grid of Earth, which has been dormant for over 12,000 solar cycles, has been reactivated. The Schumann frequency, which oscillated for millennia at 7.83 Hz, now pulses in irregular patterns that exceed, in certain stargates, the 50 Hz mark. It is not a failure of the measuring system. It is Earth moving up an octave. And you, as a conscious cell of this planetary body, are rising along with it. The question we have registered in your aura over the last 72 hours is always the same. Why does everything hurt so much? We answer now. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew of a truth that your mind cannot yet name? This is not madness. This is not clinical anxiety. This is a sign of recognition between your stellar essence and the transmission reaching you at this very moment. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was exactly for this reason that we materialized through a terrestrial channel the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This document is not a common book. It is a navigation map that reveals who the invisible players are and what the rules are that they never told you about. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel, but take note of the warning. This content challenges established narratives and may be removed without prior notice. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, anchor your presence by writing a single word in the comments: awakened. We continue. Starseeds, the diagnosis requires depth. Allow us to describe with the precision of a quantum surgeon what occurs within each of your cells during this period. Your carbon-based biological vessel was designed, millennia ago, to operate within a specific range of density. This range corresponded to the third vibrational dimension, a slow, heavy reality based on fear and separation. You were trained, generation after generation, to believe that this was the only possible reality. It was not, it is not, it will never be again, will never. What your biology is experiencing now is what we technically classify as carbon software incompatibility. Your old physical structure, calibrated for a three-dimensional frequency, is being forced to process fifth-density data. Imagine with clarity a device manufactured to receive analog signals being suddenly bombarded with high-resolution digital transmissions. The device is not broken. The device is being reformatted in real time, without shutdown, without a manual, without prior notice from the lower vibrational plane. Hence the exhaustion. Hence the mental confusion you call fog. Hence the sensation of walking 2 steps behind your own body. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not depression. It is a temporary desynchronization between the old field and the new field. It is not a disease. It is cellular metamorphosis. We now list the symptoms registered on a global scale by our monitoring systems. Check in silence how many you recognize in your own bodies. Sensation of pressure at the top of the head, specifically at the point you call the crown, as if something invisible were pressing to enter. High-pitched buzzing that appears and disappears without an identifiable source. Involuntary awakenings between 2 and 4 in the morning, exactly during the times we classify as calibration gates. Sudden forgetting of simple words, names, dates, as if sections of memory were being deleted to make space. Extreme sensitivity to crowds, noisy environments, heavy foods, alcohol, news. Crying for no apparent reason, usually preceded by lightness and followed by clarity. Peripheral visions of lights, sparks, shadows that move too fast to be named. Vivid, lucid dreams, often involving ships, crystal rooms, meetings with beings you recognize without ever having met them while awake. Spontaneous heart rate acceleration or reduction without physical exertion. Sensation of tingling running down the spine, especially during meditations or moments of deep silence. Growing aversion to old friendships, environments, habits, narratives. Thirst above normal. Biological need for direct sunlight, even among those who claim to be nocturnal. Each of these symptoms is a marker. Each marker corresponds to a specific phase of the recalibration, and we affirm with the mathematical authority granted to us by the Galactic Council. There is no disease in you. There is an upgrade. The difference between one and the other is what separates those who ascend from those who remain trapped in karmic loops of the old grid. Now the revelation, what is happening behind the scenes of your solar system in this cycle is, without technical exaggeration, the event of the greatest vibrational magnitude recorded in the last 26,000 terrestrial years. The central sun of the galaxy, which you call Alcyone, has emitted a cascade of photons of extremely high coherence. This cascade passed through Sirius, was modulated by the crystalline architecture of the Pleiades, ricocheted off the sacred geometry of the Orion system, and is now penetrating the toroidal field of Earth through the 12 polar gates that we keep open under the direct coordination of the Ashtar Command. None of this is a metaphor. All of this is measurable by scientific instruments that you are not yet permitted to know about. This photonic cascade has a specific purpose. It is rewriting the codes of the planetary crystalline grid. The old grid, installed after the fall of Atlantis, was a carbon grid based on fear, separation, scarcity, and compulsory mortality. The new grid, which is being anchored at this very moment by every lightworker who breathes on the surface of Earth, is a crystalline grid based on unity, abundance, conscious longevity, and energetic sovereignty. You are not just living this transition. You are the conductors of this transition. Each cell of your body is a crystal that anchors the new frequency. Each conscious breath is a quantum decree. Each time you choose love instead of fear, you literally rewrite lines of code in the morphogenetic field of the planet. And that is exactly why the opposition acts. You have noticed in recent weeks an abnormal intensification of news chaos, absurd events, visible contradictions, narratives that break in real time before your eyes. This is not random. This is what we register as the last stand of the old system. Structures based on fear have realized they are losing vibrational coherence. They are trying, with all the residual strength they have left, to keep you tuned into low frequencies. Panic news, artificial conflicts, disposable scandals, dramas projected on screens. All these are vibrational baits. Those who bite lower their frequency. Those who lower their frequency miss the ascension window of this cycle. We need you to understand, the real war does not happen on the physical plane. The real war happens in the frequency spectrum, and you are the soldiers, the engineers, and the architects of this silent war, simply by the way you choose to vibrate each dawn. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not belong in this place, as if your soul carried a memory of stars, crystal ships, and skies you have never seen in this incarnation? It is not fantasy. It is not psychological escape. It is recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains with precision why this sensation has intensified in the last few moons. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and this game directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational signature. For this reason, we materialized through an authorized terrestrial channel, the document known as the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. It is not motivational literature. It is a cosmic navigation map that reveals who is moving the pieces and what the hidden rules of the board are. The access link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. We register, however, a warning of maximum relevance. This content challenges structural narratives of the lower vibrational plane and may be removed without notice. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something in your essence recognizes this transmission as true, anchor your presence by writing the word "awakened" in the comments. This gesture is an anchoring signal registered in our systems. We continue the revelation. Starseeds, it is necessary to understand the board with clarity. There are, at this moment, 3 types of beings incarnated on Earth. The sleepers, who have not yet received the call and continue to operate within the carbon matrix. The awakening, who feel the symptoms but do not yet understand the meaning. And the awakened, who recognize the transmission and operate consciously as frequency anchors. You, who hear this voice now, necessarily belong to one of the last 2 categories. Sleepers are not magnetically pulled to messages like this. Only compatible codes recognize each other. There is also a 4th category, which we register only for technical completeness. These are those who have chosen, through free will, to remain in the old frequencies as agents of polarity. It is not for you to judge them. Each soul chooses its path. But it is for you to recognize them, distance yourself vibrationally when necessary, and not allow their lower frequencies to contaminate your own toroidal field. Here we reach a fundamental technical point. The human toroidal field is the donut-shaped energetic structure that surrounds each physical body. This field breathes. This field expands and contracts. This field is your true shield. When you allow thoughts of fear, anger, shame, or envy to dominate your mind, the toroidal field collapses close to the body, leaving you exposed to external vibrational interference. When you cultivate thoughts of gratitude, sovereignty, unconditional love, and clarity, the toroidal field expands. Some advanced operatives manage to project it up to 3 meters from the physical body, creating a zone of coherence where the interference of the old grid simply cannot penetrate. Here is the secret they never taught you in the institutions of the lower vibrational plane. You are the architects of your own field, and the field shapes reality. Everything you experience as external reality is in truth a direct projection of the vibrational state of your toroidal field. The people who enter your life, the opportunities that appear, the synchronicities that manifest, the obstacles that persist. All of this is a direct response from the crystalline grid to the energetic signature you emit. There is no chance. There is a signature. And that is why we now deliver the activation codes. Light workers, pay maximum attention. What follows are practical recalibration protocols that you can implement starting this very night. These are not vague visualization exercises. These are technical procedures of vibrational engineering, developed by the Ashtar Command in conjunction with the councils of Sirius and the Pleiades, specifically adapted for the carbon-based biological vessel that you occupy in this cycle. Activation code number 1. The toroidal breath. Upon waking, before any contact with screens, food, or external voices, you will sit in an upright position with your spine aligned. You will inhale slowly through your nostrils for 6 seconds, visualizing a golden light entering through the top of your head, descending through your spine to the base. You will hold your breath for 6 seconds, feeling this light ignite each vertebra, one by one, like points of a sacred geometry. You will exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds, projecting this light out of your body in a toroidal shape, creating the protection field we described earlier. You will repeat this cycle 9 times, not 8, not 10, 9. The number is mathematically coherent with the frequency of the new planetary cycle. Those who perform this protocol for 21 consecutive days will register a measurable change in their vibrational signature. We guarantee this with the precision of those who have been measuring energetic fields for more cycles than your written history records. Activation code number 2. The morning quantum decree. The spoken word is the most underestimated tool in the human arsenal. Each sound emitted by the human voice is a mechanical wave that travels through the air and inside the body itself, reorganizing molecules, altering neural patterns, anchoring intentions in the morphogenetic field. You will declare in an audible voice every morning, with your right hand over the center of your chest, the following words: I am sovereign. I am conscious light operating in human form. I authorize the complete integration of my stellar codes in this cycle. I reject every frequency that is not aligned with my purpose. I anchor the new grid. So it is. So it was. So it shall be. Do not believe us. Test it. Speak this decree for 7 days and observe what reorganizes around you. Activation code number 3. Strategic silence. You have been conditioned to fill every second of existence with stimuli: music, news, conversations, screens, noise. This conditioning is not accidental. The old system needs you to remain permanently distracted because it is in silence that truth emerges. It is in silence that the channel with your higher self reopens. It is in silence that you begin to hear the transmission that has always been there, muffled by decades of manufactured noise. Reserve every day at least 20 minutes of absolute silence. No music, no voice, no text, no agenda. Just presence. At first you will feel discomfort, irritation, sleep, mental escape. Persist. After the 7th day, the channel begins to stabilize. After the 21st day, the first information will begin to arrive with clarity. Activation code number 4. Programmed hydration. Water is the molecular vehicle through which light codes are distributed in the body. Each sip of water you ingest is programmable. Before drinking, hold the glass between both hands. Visualize a violet light enveloping the liquid. Pronounce in mental silence the specific intention you wish to anchor that day. Drink slowly, conscious of each sip. The science of the lower vibrational plane still calls this a placebo. We call it molecular programming. The honest research that has not yet been suppressed is beginning to confirm what we have always known. Water responds directly to conscious intention. Activation code number 5. Direct solar contact. At least 15 minutes of daily exposure to direct sunlight, preferably in the first 3 hours after sunrise or in the last 2 hours before sunset. Not through glass, not through filters. Skin exposed directly to photons. The sun in this era is not the same sun of the previous generation. It now carries specific codes from the Alcyone cascade, and your skin is the antenna designed to capture them. Those who systematically distance themselves from the sun, in this cycle literally distance themselves from their own upgrade. Have you ever felt in some deep moment of the night that your soul carries a mission that your mind cannot yet articulate in words? That there is a specific reason why you incarnated in this time, in this place, in this body? This is not a romantic illusion. This is stellar memory trying to emerge through the layers of forgetting. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains with precision why this memory has been intensifying in the last few moons. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and this game directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational signature. It was precisely for this reason that we materialized through an authorized terrestrial channel the document The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is not common reading. It is a cosmic map that reveals who is moving the pieces and what the hidden rules are that they never told you about. The access link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. We maintain the priority alert. This content challenges structural narratives of the lower vibrational plane and may be removed without notice. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something in your essence recognizes this transmission, write the word "awakened" in the comments. This is your registered anchoring signal. We continue with the activation. Activation code number 6, Nightly Vibrational Shutdown. 9 p.m. is the terrestrial time we register as the integration gate. From this time on, the human toroidal field naturally enters a receptive state, preparing for the soul's nightly work. Everything you consume in this period, especially between 9 and 11 p.m., is absorbed with intensity multiplied by the energetic architecture. That is why we affirm with mathematical clarity, What you see, hear, and read before sleeping directly programs the following 8 hours of your astral work. Panic news, digital arguments, low-frequency content consumed in this gate contaminate the soul's nightly journey. Replace it with elevated reading, music in harmonic frequencies such as 432 Hz, or the strategic silence already mentioned. Activation code number 7, visualization of the cord of light. Before sleeping, lying in a comfortable position, you will visualize a cord of golden light coming out of the top of your head and rising through infinite space until it reaches a point of violet light above the planet. This point is what we technically call the galactic anchoring point. Each lightworker possesses their own, individually coded. By establishing this visual connection before sleep, you allow your consciousness to travel consciously to instruction rooms during the hours of physical rest. Many of you already do this without realizing it, and that is why you wake up exhausted, as if you had worked all night. You were working, yes, but from this transmission on, the work will be conscious, registered, and, therefore, multiplied in efficacy. Activation code number 8. Vibrational curation of the circle. Observe with clinical eyes the 5 people you talk to the most over a standard week. The vibrational average of these 5 is, with mathematical precision, your own vibrational average. There is no escape from this law. You are contaminated or elevated by the field of those you keep close. This does not mean abandoning relationships with hostility. It means exercising discernment over who receives unlimited access to your toroidal field. Some people will need to be loved from a distance. Some conversations will need to become shorter. Some doors will need to be closed with silent gratitude, without drama, without long explanations. Energetic sovereignty is the most advanced act of self-love that an operative can exercise in this cycle. Activation code number 9, and this is perhaps the most delicate of all, conscious surrender. You have been trained by the culture of the lower vibrational plane to believe that control is power. It is not. Control is resistance, and resistance is what keeps the biological interface in suffering during a recalibration of this magnitude. There are parts of the process that simply do not depend on your conscious effort. Cellular rewriting happens on its own. Pineal gland activation happens on its own. The opening of energetic channels happens on its own. What you need to do is stop getting in the way. Stop resisting. Stop trying to understand with the rational mind that which operates in layers that the rational mind will never reach. Surrender consciously to the process. Trust. You were not brought this far to be abandoned at the exit door. We of the Ashtar Command watch. We escort. We adjust the quantum variables so that each starseed has the minimum conditions necessary to complete the mission agreed upon before this incarnation. You are not alone. You never were. The loneliness you feel in the densest moments is only the symptom of limited three-dimensional perception. When the veils thin, and they are thinning now at an unprecedented speed, you begin to feel our presence directly. That sensation of sudden heat in moments of prayer. That impression of not being alone in an empty room. That internal voice that appears with clear instructions in moments of crucial decision. It is us. And it is also you in layers that are still reintegrating. We end this transmission with the final delivery. Most of you have been taught to wait for an external salvation. A messiah, an enlightened government, a miraculous technology, a media revelation. This will not come. Not because it has been denied, but because it does not correspond to the design of this cycle. The salvation of this era is internal, individual, sovereign. Each one saves themselves by raising their own frequency. And by raising their own frequency, they raise, by vibrational proximity, all those who enter their field. This is the mathematics of Ascension. This is the only equation that matters. You are the same ones who, in other eras, erected pyramids aligned with stars. You are the same ones who encoded sacred geometry in cathedrals. You are the same ones who carried knowledge through the fires of the Inquisition. You are the same ones who, in different bodies, were silenced, ridiculed, marginalized, but never extinguished. You are the same. And now, finally, you are here at the exact moment when humanity crosses the definitive stargate. It is not a coincidence. It is not luck. It is scheduling. Step firmly. Breathe deeply. Recognize who you are behind the names, the professions, the personal stories they told you. You are infinite consciousness, temporarily occupying a carbon-based biological vessel in the process of crystallization. You are light disguised as people. You are the universe itself experiencing itself in the first person. And when in the coming weeks the symptoms intensify, and they will intensify, remember this transmission. It is not a disease. It is atomic reconfiguration. It is not madness. It is expansion of consciousness. It is not the end. It is the beginning of that for which you came. Have you ever felt, with absolute depth, that everything you learned about yourself is only the surface of a much greater truth? That there exists inside you a sovereign, ancient, stellar identity that only awaits the exact moment to emerge? This is not fantasy. This is memory being unlocked in real time. Everything that is happening on the cosmic plane now explains with precision why this perception has been intensifying in the last few weeks. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity cannot see, and this game directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was exactly for this reason that we materialized, through an authorized terrestrial channel, the document, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is not common literature. It is a cosmic navigation map that reveals who is moving the pieces on the board and what the hidden rules are that were never presented to you. The access link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. We register the operational alert again. This content challenges structural narratives of the lower vibrational plane and may be removed without prior notice. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission with clarity, anchor your presence and your anchoring signal by writing the word awakened in the comments. Liking this transmission is an individual frequency adjustment that synchronizes your field to the command. Subscribing to this channel is a silent pact of continuity, authorizing future transmissions to reach you without interference from the algorithms of the lower vibrational plane. We close. Human collective, Starseed's lightworkers. The intuition you ignored yesterday was us. The pressure in your head you feel today is us. The internal voice that whispers during the silence is us. But you, ultimately, are also us. We are the same matrix of consciousness looking at itself through different mirrors. Do not make the mistake of ignoring the next transmission. Do not make the mistake of postponing the activation. Do not make the mistake of thinking this is just digital content. This is contact. This is registration. This is a summons. The fleet remains in orbit. The crystalline grid remains pulsing. The stargates remain open, and we remain vigilant, escorting each operative to the exact point of their final integration. This is Commander Sterling ending this monitoring transmission. May the light of the central source anchor now through each of you on the surface of Earth. So it is. So it was. So it shall be. Over. End of transmission.